This is Richard Featherstone at mybibledevotions.com, and I'm going to take a few minutes to show you how to get the most use out of the 1st and 2nd Samuel devotion. So once you're at the website mybibledevotions.com, you'll want to come down to the navigation area and click on 1st and 2nd Samuel. Once you get there, you can see that there's several options that you have available to you. One is that you can link directly to the reading, which I'm going to show you quickly. So it's 1 Samuel, and sure enough, it brings you to Bible Gateway. And at this point, you could actually pull up this scroll bar and actually find the particular translation that you'd like to use. Let's go back to the website. So that's a great way to just say, okay, I just want to do the least amount of work. I just want to read the particular chapter and I'm done. And you can certainly do that. However, I recommend that you take a moment and check out the slides. And what I've done here is I've created just a few slides to help you kind of understand and see some things from each of these particular chapters. I recommend that you start off with the slides, or perhaps if you want to start by reading the chapter, but that you'll see that comes up next. So in any case, you can go through your slides here in the edit view and click on whichever particular slide you want to jump to. That's totally fine. I actually recommend to start off with to use the present button, which is up here in the top right. You click on that, and then you can actually click through this particular slide by either clicking your mouse or using the arrow keys on your keyboard. So I'm doing that now. So not every chapter, but many chapters will provide you with the main characters, who they are, and the definition of their names. Then you can actually go to this link, and if you just use your mouse to click on that, it takes you to the same place where we were before, which is Bible Gateway. So it's really handy to jump right to the particular reading. I recommend that you actually read the chapter right at the beginning. Then you have the opportunity to actually go to a quiz, which I've created in Google Forms, and you can go through. There's only 4 questions. It is a graded quiz in the sense that you'll get feedback on each of the questions, but no one is going to see your answers except for me, and I won't even know who it's from. So you don't have to log in. You don't have to put your name down. It's totally anonymous, and I don't reveal the overall scores. The reason I like to score this, though, is because it kind of makes you focus on actually doing the reading, because you're going to be curious, well, how well did I remember the material? And every time that you actually answer a question and then submit it, I give a little bit of feedback, some thoughts on each section of Scripture on that. So it's a fun way. I hope it's a way to enjoy actually reading a chapter and then seeing how well you do on one of my quizzes, and maybe what are the issues that I thought were interesting, if nothing else. So let's go ahead and move on from here. There's also a video that I have created for each one of these, and you can actually click on that. Now, the difference is if you click on the video within the particular, I'm going to go ahead and pause this. Richard Feathers. If you click on the video within the slides presentation, it will actually take you to Screencast-O-Matic. It's the software product I'm using right now to record this video tutorial. I really like the program because it provides you with the ability to jump along to see the closed captioning and also to jump to different sections. So a really nice feature. But some people like to use YouTube, and of course you can go to see that same video by clicking on it. We're back here at mybibledevotions.com. We're in the 1st and 2nd Samuel area, and you can just click on this here and start the YouTube video. The other thing that's frustrating for some people, myself included, is that YouTube is getting more and more advertising. So you're trying to watch a 5-minute do-it-yourself project explanation, and you have to spend, it seems like, 4 minutes watching different advertisements that have nothing to do with what you're interested in. So YouTube has its strengths, but some people are looking for other options. So that's why there's that possibility of just going right to the slides and then going to the video there. So I recommend that you also watch the video. Then after that, there may be some additional material in each chapter. In this particular one, because there's Shiloh and Ramah mentioned, I found a great free map that you can view. And then also there's some images here too that I thought were interesting. I'm a big fan of art from the past. So these are a couple art pieces and you can see where they're from. Now, one of the nice things about the slides feature is that you can actually go back by pushing the escape key, and you can go to each one of these slides. So let's say that you were curious, where did I get this particular map from? And you'll notice that because we're in this editing section, we're not in the present section. You can't edit it yourself, but you can, in fact, right now, I can't really do anything here. But you can view this, and down here at the bottom is where the notes section is. And so in the notes, I try to provide detailed information about each one of these slides. So for example, if you're curious, okay, well, where's the link to this particular resource? Well, I provide that right here. What's also interesting is I also try to provide it. I'm going to go back into the present view for a second. So we're going to see the slide full screen. And then you'll notice that my mouse changed into a hand because this is clickable. I try to put a link on there, and you can actually click on that particular piece of art and then see where it's from. You can see it's Commons Wikimedia, and then you can gain more information about that piece of art here if you're one of those art historians in the making. So the notes is a great way, down here the notes is a great way to see any details or information that I might provide about a particular slide. If you can't see the notes, it's probably because they have not been activated, and to make sure that you can see them, you can simply go to the View button, Show Speaker Notes, and there they are. Now they may be hidden sometimes. They might be closed down like this, so you may have to come down there with your mouse and just kind of pull them up. So a couple things to be aware of. Some people like to look at the notes, and some people prefer to just use it in present mode. Also, I've made it these slides available to print. Some people may want to print these. I'm not sure why, but perhaps somebody would say, hey, I want to print this. I recommend actually using the File button and then going to Print Settings and Preview, because then it lets you see what it looks like. It takes a second for it to pull up, and then you can actually print these off. So some people might prefer that. So it's just something I have made available to you. All right, so let's go back to the website, and you'll notice that there is a link to reading. So you can go right to that chapter in Bible Gateway, choose the translation that you like. You can go to the slide section, which we just looked at, and you can kind of cruise through there and learn some new information. There's the link to the quiz in there. There's also a link to this video through Screencast-O-Matic. But what you don't see within that particular slideshow is you don't see the handout. So you might say, well, what's the handout? Well, the handout is provided as part of the video explanation of that chapter. And so what I try to do for each chapter is identify one practical idea or piece of information that I think that we can pull from that particular chapter and use in our own lives. So my goal for going over scripture is not to become a historian. It is not to try to parse out the interpretation of a particular Hebrew or Greek word. Instead, it's to understand scripture, discover new truths, and then to pull them into our lives in a very practical manner. And so I find sometimes, for me anyway, I enjoy having a visual representation of that. And so for each one of these videos, I try to find some kind of practical issue. And then what I try to do is I simply create a handout. So let's go ahead and view this. This handout shows up in the video, so you can check out the video sometime. And again, this is something that anyone can view, and you can also print it. So if you're curious and you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to stick this in my Bible. This is kind of an interesting concept here. And so you can come in here to print, and you can see what it looks like before printing. You can do it in color or black and white, of course. So the handouts are a little bit different. They're not in the slide section, but they are in the video section. It's kind of a way to reward you for sitting through that video. And then you can see that the 2 Samuel 1 is also, I'm sorry, 1 Samuel chapter 2 is also very similar to the format for the first one. And each one of my videos and chapters kind of has that same layout. There's a reading link, so if you just want to do the chapter, be done. There's a section for slides. There's also a handout and a video. So, and you'll notice that I've incorporated some of that classic art into the covers for these videos. So in any case, I hope that explains a little bit on 1st and 2nd Samuel. I'm currently still in the process of working through 1st Samuel, and I will be moving after I finish that to 2nd Samuel. If you have any questions or you have ideas about how I can improve the site, feel free to go up here to the author button. If you click on that, you will then be able to come down here, and then you can actually either send me an email through your regular email at devotions@richardfeatherstone.com, or if you prefer, you can send me some kind of information here through this text box. So I'm always trying to find a way to improve the devotions. I have the Activity devotion completed. I'm working on 1st and 2nd Samuel, and I have another project in the works. So do check it out when you get a chance. I appreciate that you're enjoying, I hope, going through these devotions, and I hope you're enjoying them as much as I enjoyed creating them. So God bless, and I hope to talk to you soon.